Hello, I'm Michael Diamond, and you're watching Muscle Central. Okay, this video I'm going to be talking about training, both the lifting and the cardio. When it comes to the training, it's really, there's many different uh, approaches, methods, but what it boils down to is really two basic ways to go. You're either to go longer periods, volume training, or shorter workouts, higher intensity. You're not going to do both. It doesn't work. Yes, there have been some exceptions. Ronnie Coleman is an exception, but how many Ronnie Colemans do we have out there? I mean, you, is now the question becomes: Is there one? Is one of those approaches better than the other? Personally, my opinion, I feel that the higher intensity, less volume is the optimal approach. I mean, let's drift away from the working out for a moment. If you were ill and you had to take some medication, you'd always want to take the smallest dosage that's needed to fix whatever the problem is. It's the safest, healthiest approach. If you're going to use gear, people are under the impression that more is better. No, there's a point where diminished returns. You can keep on doing more and more, but the results aren't going to be any better. You want to use the smallest dose that's needed to get optimal results. And I feel that as far as your training goes, it's the same thing. Now, keep in mind, it's not the more time you spend in the gym, the better the results are going to be. You're not getting results, you're not growing during that time when you're in the gym. The gym time is just a stimulus. You're growing outside the gym with the food you're eating, and most importantly, the rest. Your body grows when you're resting. Now, there have been many bodybuilders that have gotten very good results doing volume training. But my question is, could they have gotten the same results or even better results if they up the intensity more and pull back on the volume and giving their bodies more time to rest and recuperate and grow? Jay Cutler was a volume man. He didn't. Yes, he worked with a level of intensity, but in his own words, he never went to failure. He never took quite the approach that Dorian Yates used. Would he have gotten better results if he pulled back a little bit on the volume, up the intensity, more time to recover? We don't know. I mean, I can't tell you for sure, but in my opinion, I think that it's very likely that he would have. Uh, More is not necessarily better. You want to do enough to stimulate, create the stimulus to build muscle, but you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to break down more than you can repair. There's no need to do it doing. I see people doing 20, 30 sets per body part, doing 4, 5, 6 different exercises per body part. I think the only body part that I might want to do for 5 or 6 different exercises with might be the back, because it's such a large area. You would need more to cover it fully. But beyond that, there's no need to do it. 3 to 4 exercises tops. Now, when you're working a body part, maybe the first exercise for the particular body part, maybe you want to go up to 4 sets. But the first 2 are going to be warm-up sets, feeler sets, to get the muscle working, get blood into the muscle that you're working, get the muscle into the groove. But once the muscle is warmed up on the following exercises, you really don't need to do more than a couple of sets to get the results that you are looking for. You put enough intensity into those couple of sets once the muscle is warmed up, and that's really all you need. Like I said, your muscles aren't growing during that time you're in the gym. Your muscles are growing. The gym is just the stimulus for growth. It's outside the gym with your food intake and, most importantly, your rest. My personal opinion, as far as the weight training goes, you don't need to do a lot of volume. You emphasize quality over quantity. Now let's get into the cardio aspect of it also. There's basically 2 approaches to doing a cardio, just like with your weightlifting. You have what would be the volume. You're going to go longer periods at a slow to moderate pace, or you can go high intensity interval training, where you're going to do intervals of a slow pace to a faster all-out pace, and you go back and forth. With the intensity intervals, it's the same thing as what I was talking about before with weightlifting. You're not going to be able to do those high-intensity intervals over a long period of time. You're going to have to keep the workouts shorter. Now, which is better for overall health and fat loss? I would lean towards the high-intensity interval training. As far as cardiovascular-wise, to improve your endurance, without a doubt, doing intervals from slow to moderate intensity to a high intensity all out is going to make the heart work more. It's going to build up more cardiovascular endurance. And that's going to spill over into your weightlifting. You're doing a heavy intense back workout or squats or something like that. That's going to, you want to have good cardiovascular endurance so you don't get too winded to where you have to stop the sets prematurely. Now, as far as fat burning, I would lean towards the high intensity interval training for fat burning and contest prep. Let's take a look at two different types of field athletes, track athletes. You got marathon runners. Look at the typical long distance runner. They're very thin. They don't carry much muscle. Yeah, okay, granted, you don't want to carry a lot of muscle because you have to go longer distances, but some of them look downright emaciated, like almost like an Ethiopian famine victim. But then on the opposite end of the spectrum, you got the track and field athletes, the sprinters and whatnot. You're not going to find a huge muscular sprinter, but like I said, they have to go fast. Their whole thing is getting the run done, the event done in a shorter time frame. Speed is paramount, and too much muscle, of course, is going to slow you down. But if you look at track and field athletes, they have muscle. They don't have that emaciated famine victim look like a long distance runner. They're not going long periods of running. They're doing short, basically they're doing high intensity interval training. They're doing short bursts, resting, short bursts, resting. And yes, they're not huge muscular, but they have muscles, and they don't look like a famine victim. All right, to try to conclude this video, covered what I feel is the best approach to both the weight training and the cardio for fat burning. In my opinion, shorter, more efficient is the best way to go. That's my opinion. You might agree with me, you might disagree with me. Either way, please let me know in the comments section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share, and by all means subscribe. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. This way, every time I put up a new video, you will be notified. Once again, this is Michael Diamond, and I'd like to thank you for watching Muscle Central.